As you can see, I'm surrounded by green. Well, I'm not surrounded by green, but we are sponsored by the good people at Wash and Go today. The lovely people at Wash and Go. What I'm on about, good people. And people often say to me, Mark, is it not hard being a Wash and Go ambassador? And I always have to reply to them like this. Being a rocket engineer is hard. Just ask Elon Musk. Being Manchester United manager is hard. Just ask the 4 managers that have taken over since Sir Alex Ferguson. Being an NHS worker, that's hard. Heroes. That is really hard. But being a shampoo ambassador is as easy as taking a bath. It really is. So next time you're having a really hard day, just run a bath, light some candles, put on some relaxing music and lather up with Wash and Go. Classic Wash and Go. You can pick up your bottle at any good retailer or by hitting the link in the description and getting it delivered straight to your door. Thanks very much to Wash and Go for supporting the United Stand. Now let's move on with the show. And remember, Wash and Go, it's invisible. It's invisible. So some transfer news around Zakaria as well. But let's start off with this latest breaking Manchester United news. And I do think it is significant news because ultimately, if you could give me one thing that I would change about Manchester United, it would be competent owners. I think the whole club would be revolutionised and it would, whether you don't like McTominay and Fred in the midfield, whether you don't like who's playing where, or you don't like the style of football, or you don't like the not winning trophies, if you change the owners, this would change all of that. Because, top to bottom, what do they say? Shit flows downhill. And unfortunately, we haven't got great owners and it flows all the way down through the club. Look at Man City. Look at Roman Abramovich. They have this mentality and desire to win trophies and it runs all the way down that club and the ruthless decisions are made. But at Manchester United, it's all about making money and that's why we don't win trophies anymore because we haven't got the greatest manager that there's ever been to get us out of jail. So we can't win trophies because our mentality at the top of this club isn't right. So for me, talking about whether the Glazers are going to sell the club is always something that encourages me because I want them to sell the club because I don't think they're very good owners in relation to succeeding on the pitch. Off the pitch, they've made loads of money, of course they have. And they're going to make another £140 million. They're going to sell another load of shares that will bring their total ownership down to 69%. Now, they got rid of some shares in the summer. They're getting rid of £140 million worth more of shares. None of this money, of course, will go to Manchester United. They bought us on debt. They sell shares and they take that as well. They don't clear any debt. It's all about we're a money-making machine. And look, you can delve into the wrongs and rights of that. The reality is they bought this great football club on a pile of debt. They do nothing to clear that debt. And what they're doing is they're gradually decreasing their ownership in the club, but taking full amount. So £140 million coming out of this football club to do with shares sold in Manchester United. But basically, I think even if the Glazers do sell, they're still going to leave it with the debt. It's a massive, massive, massive profit-making scheme. If I bought a house at the end of my road for £500,000, but I bought it on debt, and then I sold it for £500,000, but I didn't pay the debt off, and this is what United are doing. This is what the Glazers are doing. They're not decreasing the debt. They're taking the money out of that. They're cashing in on that ownership that they got through debt. So £140 million, none of it going to be coming to Manchester United, all of it going to the Glazers themselves. But that ownership is coming down to 69%. And the reason I say up for sale question mark is that this is reducing. And you will get people this morning saying, wow, they still own 69%. Well, they still own 69%, but before they sold these shares, they owned over 70%. I don't know what it was, nearly 80%. So it's coming down. And 69% is only 19% away from 50%. And when you're 50%, you only own half the club. So the interesting thing for me is, and look, maybe we need to hear from Must or whoever it is that is involved in these conversations. But with regards to the conversation with the fan forum, they said they were committed to creating a system where fans can own part of the club. Now, is this the Glazers moving towards that? I don't know, because ultimately 69% means 31% is owned by other people. 31%, who are these other people? Who owns the other 31% of United, and what are their thoughts on fan shares? If that 69% was the Glazers like it is and 31% was the fans, this would be a different story. But how is this an exit plan from the Glazers to not give up any ownership of the football club? Is that's what's happening here? Because ultimately, best case scenario now, 69% owned by the Glazers, 31% owned by who knows. They give 19%. I don't know what's going on with this share scheme with United, but the fear was always from people I spoke to that it would be a pitiful amount anyway. You know, it would be, you know, be less than 10% that were you know, there for fans to buy, which at the end of the day doesn't make any bloody difference, does it? But my hope is that, and I've seen this happen many times before in business. In fact, it happened when the Glazers got hold of United. It takes a bit of time and then it starts to really roll quick. You start to see shares shifting out of the club into the hands of somebody, and then gradually they'll get a point where it gets close to 50%, and then you'll see the sale. So I'm hopeful that this is the exit plan of the Glazers, but to be honest with you, if you look at, and I had it on screen a moment ago, if you look at the share price of Manchester United at the moment, it's very high. It's been very high since, it was quite low in July, but since Ronaldo's come in, it's shot up by nearly like $4 on the share. It's not as high as we have been. You know, we have been 2016. We were higher than this, but we're at one of our highest share prices in the last decade. So, you know, is it any wonder that the Glazers are thinking, let's sell some more shares while the share price is high? But look, I'm hoping this is part of an exit strategy. But of course, the official line is that they are still very committed to Manchester United. My question would be, if they're so committed to Manchester United, why are they shipping off shares? And secondly, if you're so committed to the future of United and you were talking about, you know, fans getting involved in the ownership of the club, why are you selling shares privately? That's not, you know, you can buy those shares if you're a fan, but these aren't shares that they've not come to Manchester United fans and gone, we're going to sell £140 million worth of shares. Do you want to buy them? This is going on the New York Stock Exchange for anybody to buy. Any business can buy them, and I don't know who's buying these shares, to be honest with you. So a lot of questions to be asked, a lot of digging that needs to be done. But look, do I think the Glazers are going to sell United? I've got no bloody idea. Do I want them to sell United? Yes. Obviously, you've always got to be aware of who's going to come in afterwards. You could get, the fear is, even if the Glazers did sell United, what if you go into the hands of another Glazers, another company that just wants to make football money out of the football club? We need ownership from people who want the club to be successful on the pitch. That is the problem. McTominay and Pib, sorry.